our Tremolo series.
In this series, we're going to share with you tremolo pedals by some of our favorite manufacturers.
Thanks for joining us. Today we're taking a look at the Harmonious Monk from Jam Pedals, and the Beard's going to tell you a little bit about it and features and maybe a special connection to other YouTubers.
Right. Well, let's start with Jam Pedals, the box. They're we shouldn't talk about packaging, right? But I mean, they put.
It is cool.
I can't get it out.
They build the anticipation when you're trying to open the box. Well, we've opened our share of pedals in plain white boxes, and they play fine. But when we get something that's packaged uniquely, it's kind of cool.
Right. So you get like the little outer thing, this little insert, which is your directions that folds out.
Which we used to just throw those away, but the more complex pedals we get, we hang on to them.
Get a nice set of directions. You open the box, jam, art for your ears. Always have like a little baggie inside, like not just it's a nice made for that pedal bag. And then there's some other stuff in there. I see some stickers, Jam Pedals. There's we're in it now.
You're gonna get to the bottom of the box. Oh, I didn't see
the
that.
seal.
Nice.
There's even a little catalog, Harmonious Monk. With that's a very clever design that they came up with for Dynamite.
They have enhanced their particular phallic preferences, like one with spiky hair and one with a beard.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Jam Pedals pick.
Oh.
Yeah, so a whole bunch of swag. We normally, like I said, won't spend a lot of time, but I think the reason is when a company puts that much effort into the packaging, and thank you, Josh Scott, for making everybody have to save the box now, so now you have to make the box look good. But seriously, when you put that much effort into the packaging, it says something about the attention to detail. And then you can look at the pedal itself and you can see that. So yeah, we said Dan and Mick from that pedal show, this is their signature pedal. And for ages, they've talked a lot about harmonic tremolo. Mm-hmm. And when we started the Tremolo series, we kind of got hip to harmonic tremolo over time. Right. And a lot of the places I kept seeing it come up was their show, especially Mick. Right. There was a pedal in the first round of this series, the Supro pedal that we got simply because it was Mick's favorite harmonic tremolo. So now it only makes sense to go to this one. So features. Should we run features quick?
We can.
You have a depth and a speed at the top. That's pretty self-explanatory, right? How deep the throb is, how fast it goes. You have a level. Again, kind of self-explanatory. You turn it up, it gets louder. Mm-hmm. I believe there's a level trim pot on the inside, too.
There's several trim pots on the inside. I think that is one, yes.
And there's also a mid, a bass, and a treble trim pot on the inside as well.
We take their word for that. It's rare that we open a pedal.
Right. And then you have the mix knob, which is really, really kind of clever here. Mm-hmm. Not really, really kind of. It's just really clever. So you can turn your depth up to get more of a throb. You can turn your depth down to get more of a throb, but to get less of a throb. But, if you picture your wave, your sine wave or whatever, you have a big wave and then you're turning the depth down and it's getting smaller. The mix knob allows you to put that wave wherever you want it and then either blend from a completely dry signal to a completely wet signal, which opens up a new realm of possibilities, I think. So you can have it sitting back in the mix, but with a deep throb. And without that, the only way to get it back in the mix would be to turn the throb down, the depth down. All right, 2 switches. Top switch is plus and minus. Plus is chop. Minus would be more of a sine wave, probably. And then harmonic and amplitude. So harmonic tremolo, which we've dived into this several times, but just think about taking the lows and the highs and having them kind of go up and down opposite
Pass each other.
Yeah, passing each other. Whereas an amplitude, you're taking the volume and up and down of the whole signal. On-off switch, fast, slow switch. Double time switch.
Mm-hmm.
Push it in, it doubles whatever you have the speed set at. So.
That is it. Feature-wise.
Do we get it all?
Buttons, switches, knobs.
All right. So, guitar of the day.
The Rivolta Mandata, that's on. I don't know which is half and which is off. There we go.
We're going to turn them both
Turn them both up to 6%. Okay, Rivolta Mandata 8. All the pickups on, because why won't you through the... It's back here now. We're going to point back here instead of over there. The Tyler JT22 is behind us. I'm not sure what I'm going to play. Maybe something like this.
It's a different sound coming from behind you.
It is. The studio redo. Jason and his wife worked really hard. And the amps is right here. And it is different.
It's much different.
It's fun.
All right. So...
It's going to be loud, but it's fun.
Do you want to start where it's at?
Well...
Or should we go 12?
We'll go 12. We'll save Mick's favorite setting until later.
There we go. 12 o'clock. Which we do. We'll let you play a little bit. Maybe I'll move the depth around. Let's do this. Let's not just start.
Okay.
Let's start with mix all the way out.
All right. So
we're going to move the depth around and see what that does.
It's going to be very wet.
So I think this is a good place to show the mix knob. We're driving right into it, I guess.
Right.
We're
in it.
First of all, we're on the harmonic tremolo setting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's beautiful. I mean, it's like kind of like really almost univibe.
Yes.
And they did a whole episode recently on the difference between basically univibe and a harmonic tremolo and when you would use one or the other one, whatever. If we take the mix knob and roll that, I think we're just going to roll it down slowly as you play and show you what happens. No, you'll notice the depth stays the same, but you're bringing you're basically blending the dry back in. All right, we'll go for it.
All right. It gets very swirly and swooshy when the mix is all the way up.
So without the mix knob, let's pretend it didn't exist for a minute. If we wanted to maybe not have it be so swirly and swooshy, we would have to take the depth and roll it back.
Right, then you lose that throb.
So let's do this. Let's roll the depth back quite a ways and show what it's like to pull the depth back. Then I'm going to take the depth all the way up again and roll the mix back to show the difference.
All right.
If that makes sense. And this big, like, ringing chords would probably be good. Right?
Yeah, and I might change the chords, but yes.
So you can get it to kind of sit back in the mix, but still have that depth to it.
Right.
As opposed to just taking some of the depth away.
Right.
I think it's pretty clever.
It is.
And I don't think I understood it at first. The first couple times we played with it, I don't think I understood, like, why do I need two knobs to do the same thing? Because it's not doing the same thing.
Right.
What else? Speed?
I have a question before we move on, because best laid plans, right? What if we just switch to amplitude and see what that does there?
Same thing?
Yeah. Just curious, because it's really swirly, and I'm just trying to think of how much of that is the harmonic part of the trem.
All right, so we're in amplitude. We'll do the exact same thing. We've got mix all the way up, depth all the way up. We'll take the depth down, let it sit, bring it up, then take the mix back.
This might not be exciting, might get edited out, but I was curious.
No, this is good.
It's a tremolo, right? So it's kind of only going one way. So when we took the mix all the way up, it was almost like vibrato at that point, because it was almost all just wet, just the one part of the wave. Whereas I think when we have the harmonic, it's passing each other and it swirls around. It does different. When you hit the mix all the way up, it got, even though it wasn't on the chop, it was really dramatic, because we're only emphasizing one thing, right?
Oh, yeah. With the mix all the way up, depth all the way up.
Right.
You're getting those
amplitude, you're getting just
big swells.
So it was like cutting out, because it was peaking and dropping. Whereas on the harmonic, you had that passing, and it just swirled.
But did you notice when you pulled the depth back on the amplitude, you got less of that, right? But when you left the depth up and pulled the mix back, you still had a pretty big.
Right.
It's clever. It's subtle. I don't know. I was trying to do like big. Like, let's have the mix all the way up. Let's have the depth all the way up, so you can hear it, because it is kind of subtle. But I think once you get it in your head, what's happening there, it's pretty cool.
Now that I probably messed up your entire flow of what you were trying to get to.
No, we're good. Let's do speed. Okay. We can leave the depth up a little bit. We'll stay on the amplitude for now. So speed knob will go, just to make it hard. We'll go slow, because you did that.
That's right.
Slow too fast.
I veered from the script.
So the extra switch is nice, doubles the speed. I thought it was interesting. There was like all the way up without the double time on. All the way up was too fast.
And just slightly back.
Slightly back, and it was if you want to, just real quick.
Yeah, it was like it went from like 10 to 6. It went really fast, and it was still fast, but it wasn't the hummingbird wings.
No, but that kind of reminds me of the speed you use the Caesar Diaz a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
We haven't talked about the level knob. So I don't even know. I guess all the way off to something louder.
Everybody wants a boost.
The difference between the chop and the...
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We haven't gotten to the chop yet. So this is still...
So where do you like... Get somewhere where you kind of like it.
A lot. You can do a lot with that.
Right. I mean, when you start exploring that, then...
Mm-hmm.
So, by bringing the depth up, by bringing the mix up, the chop got choppier.
Mm-hmm.
In the amplitude mode. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to not just stay on the harmonic all the time. I mean, amplitude sounds great, but the harmonic adds just a different element.
Again, it's somewhere between that uni vibe and phaser, and I'd love too that slow. Like tremolo, I like a little bit faster. I feel like with the beat and stuff,
right?
And I feel like with the tremolo, especially some of the hard tremolos that we've been using, when you're playing in a live situation, playing with a band, having that match the beat is really nice,
right?
The harmonic, just having that like kind of slow swirl behind you,
right? Yeah,
very cool. There's one setting that we have not tried yet. If I come to the owner's manual,
when they give you a recommended setting,
yeah, and yes,
yes, that's right.
Mick's favorite setting is with everything at 2 o'clock in the subtle harmonic mode. So we have it in harmonic, we have it in subtle, and now we have
everything at dos.
Everything at 2 o'clock.
What would it sound like?
No, I want to know. It's
okay. I was just curious to know.
I know what you're doing. Very cool.
Yeah, I'm not Mick, of course. Maybe the level for me, it just pushes that amp. I mean, it's a smaller wattage amp. It pushes it just a little bit break-up-y when I think it's at 2. But what would it sound like with single coil?
So, I do have a little bit of reservation in playing a strat, because I'm not a strat player, through Mick and Dan's signature pedal, because if there is anybody that can make a strat sound good.
Well, if there's any difference at all, we'll just say it's because we don't have a 2 rock. Everything else is even playing level playing field, except for the amp.
But I tend to disagree maybe with that, because I'm a big fan of the Tyler back there.
Oh yeah.
So what does it sound like? You always give me these ideas before, like, oh, do this one little thing different, and then it gets time to do it. I'm like, I can't find that thing that you wanted me to play, but.
That sounds really good.
And that's like totally out of my wheelhouse. Like strat, clean amp.
Right.
Totally out of my wheelhouse, but that sounds.
It does sound really good.
I like it. Jimmy Smith.
It's Jimmy Smith. Wes Montgomery plays the Harmonious Monk.
So, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Always like to take a moment, thank everybody that's been watching, clicking the subscribe button, hitting the like button, notification bell, commenting down below, going out to Instagram, Facebook, any of those things. Anytime you interact with the show, it really helps us out and allows us to keep doing this and bringing cool gear to the show. We have to also stop out to the website.
Yes.
All the videos in the Tremolo series are found on the website, all in one place where you can kind of scroll through and see what's going on there. Always like to take a moment and just thank our members too, because special shout out to the members because they're helping to support what we're doing, and we appreciate that special way they're supporting us. If that makes sense.
They're special. You can be special too.
So yes, we invite them. We invite you all to the room.
That's right.
And with that,
I'm PJ on behalf of the Beard, reminding you, no matter what you hear, you never have too much gear. Remember that time when Zach Broyles went to England and he was on that pedal show?
yeah,
What happened if we played one of his Mjolnirs with that pedal?
the Zach pedal with
Yeah.
that pedal show.
Yeah, it would sound, I'd have to give a million caveats, but we'd have to also switch to this guitar, right?
Yes.
What would happen if we used our Morley AB Pro?
I was trying to get you to the helicopter.
Right, instead we got to the submarine.